Real gamers,
in that case, have a good night.
real gamers, real opinions. See you later. This is Suffern 187, aka the Jackal Layers, with my homeboys, Gamer Taz and the Crazy Plane. Y'all like to introduce yourselves? Tell me about tell the audience about y'all channels.
Well, go ahead, Crazy Plane.
Well, I mean, I don't really have much of a channel at the moment. It's still kind of starting. But yeah, I like working on computers, building computers, build flight simulator systems, setups, you know, just like doing stuff like that, working on my car and truck, you know.
He has multiple skills, y'all. He even able to build. This is Suffering 187, aka the Jackal Layers, with my homeboys, Gamer Taz and the Crazy Plane. Y'all like to introduce yourselves? Tell me about tell the audience about y'all channels.
Well, go ahead, Crazy Plane.
Well, I mean, I don't really have much of a channel at the moment. It's still kind of starting. But yeah, I like working on computers, building computers, build flight simulator systems, setups, you know, just like doing stuff like that, working on my car and truck, you know.
He has multiple skills, y'all. He even able to build an airplane in your own home. May cost you a pretty penny, but it's fucking.
Well, let me correct you on that. It's called a fixed base trainer. Before we get the wrong impression.
got you. I'll get the picture for you later so I can show the audience that. Cool. And Mr. Taz.
Hey, so yeah, I don't really have much of a channel yet either. I don't have any videos up. But like Crazy Plane, I like building computers. I play games just about on anything. Nothing specific. Is just that's where I'm at. I like old school RPGs, some certain FPSs, real-time strategies.
Okay.
Not much to say.
Got you. And today, y'all, we'll be reviewing a video, CrapGamer saltiness like we have never seen before. Historic. Fair use, baby. Fair use. Let's begin.
And it sounds like we're dealing with levels of such epicness that, it's now all new historic high of saltiness.
Yeah. I'm about to push the play button on mine, yeah?
So, as you guys know, Paris Games Week is this week, and Sony did their press conference not too long ago. I had to take a quick nap to wake up from that kind of nonsense, but I am here. I wrote down the stuff that I saw during the show, and I figured I would do kind of a reaction.
That's one of the things I want to mention. I don't know how far you got in the video yet.
On what I thought and what I...
He starts off, it's already bad enough that he had to take a nap. Nothing interesting. It's PlayStation. He had to take a nap.
That's some biased shit right there. I'm at 0.25 seconds.
Right. I wonder what kind of achievements he unlocked with the taking a nap function of the Xbox.
Sleeping without actually watching any of the content of PS4. Achievement! Ready to push and play?
Yep.
1, 2, and 3.
I think. Obviously, the title is pretty accurate in terms of what I thought. Sony was like, it's only half the story was E3, and I was thinking, okay, well, it turns out this conference was even shorter than their E3, and they still have PSX.
Well, I
So
know
what
he's
a
going to be
lot of
talking
you
about,
people
like,
are doing, right?
what they
Sony
call it,
has
PSX,
PSX.
PlayStation Conference, or whatever they call it. Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming up. Don't worry.
He's kind of
don't worry.
rambling about that.
Well,
In the
guess
beginning,
what?
it's kind
If they
it
add
seems
up
a
the
little bit
time
on the
from
dry
their
side.
E3
Yeah, it is.
for Paris
It
Games
is.
Week conference and for PSX, it might.
I mean,
just
damn,
might
I had a hard enough time
equal
sitting through
to
it.
what
And,
Microsoft did at E3. Just might. Now the
but
funny
again,
thing is,
hey,
they did
ADD,
show some VR
ADHD,
stuff, which I like.
you
I'm
know,
not even going to get
yeah,
into
it
because
does that
I
to you.
thought VR,
Squirrel?
you know, that's more my thing. It's not really a mainstream thing, but I
Sorry,
like
I
the
saw a
idea that
squirrel
Sony's
outside.
still supporting that because it's about the only thing that I really
Well,
play
Nintendo had that
on
mini
VR,
direct.
on
You
my
know, that's how a
PS4
lot
Pro
of people
anymore.
word it
Anyway,
was a
is
mini
the VR
direct.
stuff. So
I'd say if Microsoft had a mini direct, he would be just hamming it up and oh my God, that just beats that conference PlayStation had. What was that conference PlayStation had? Oh man, I don't remember, man. This micro announcement from Microsoft, man. That's awesome.
He would think that was the greatest thing in the fucking world. Even if Phil Spencer himself went into the middle of the fucking stage, took his shit, and said, "This is how you would. I mean, this is what you would need in order to play your Xbox 3, your Xbox One. You need this shit in order to play. You need to smell it to know you have the original Xbox One. Why do we need this shit? Because it's crap." Yay! We got the newest system with Phil Spencer shit!
Most
Damn.
powerful console ever made. Oh,
Rip
right.
to anybody
Can't
who's
count-
listening with headphones.
It's like we can't count PC. They've already had this. Been there, past it.
sir, if you're just gonna
I
show
got
the
some
same
good
stuff we
laughs
already
out
showed,
of it anyway.
you
Yeah.
know? I just don't think that that's very prominent or very very smart on their part. Next of all, I have to say Jim Ryan, I thought it was kind of hard to get worse than you know, Andrew House and some of those guys that Sony uses for their pressers, but Jim Ryan is probably the worst. He, you know,
Okay,
so they
okay.
kind of
I'm
did-
not caught back up to you, but that's something else I wanted to mention. He's talking about VR.
VR.
Yeah. Now he says that's something that he likes from PlayStation. Now and he mentions it's not mainstream.
No, it's
But
not
he-
mainstream yet. No.
Right, but I'm just saying that I'm getting to a point because he's going to say something else.
Okay.
But he's saying VR is something that he likes, but it's not mainstream. Let me get caught back up to you. There's another point. He says something about being mainstream.
Okay. Play from your end.
you know, that's more my thing. It's not really a mainstream thing. But I like the
Yeah,
idea-
see, it's not mainstream. It's more his thing.
But why is that important though? Like, you should enjoy what you like.
Right.
And the reason I didn't make a point about that because that's just his opinion. And like Raz, BBC, and others say it's not really good to debate somebody on their opinion.
Right. I'm not debating his opinion. It's the fact I've watched the video already, and I know he mentioned something else that's mainstream.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
VR stuff. So I'm pretty much happy with.
No, I was surprised he mentioned anything good about PlayStation.
Now, when it comes to some of the other stuff,
Yeah,
like what is the
I can agree with you on that one. I mean, there are times where he kind of rags on PlayStation, like towards like midpoint in the end is when he really starts getting into the saltiness of, you know, calling the Sony fanboys stupid and, you know, clapping their fins, you know, for Sony whatever, and it's like, you know, just sitting here, it's like, dude, you do the same thing for Team Xbox.
True.
Hypocritical much?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But again, hey, what would we know?
And it wouldn't. He was basically saying it doesn't interest him, and if you were a mainstream Xbox gamer, it wouldn't interest you.
Yeah, and
So basically, he's saying up here that it's not mainstream, but he likes it. But he's saying down here, if it is, you know, if you are a mainstream X game fanboy, basically, you're not going to like that.
okay. Since we're already on that subject, is it possible I could just make my first point there?
Go for it.
Um, CrapGamer says if you're a mainstream Xbox user, Ghosts of Tsushima, cannot pronounce that name, sorry, wouldn't be a game that will interest you. I would love to know, when did Crap get signed to speak for all Xbox users? As a former Xbox, I disagree with this statement. Sucker Punch makes good games, and I would support this game as well if I had a PS4. Doesn't matter what console or platform we are on. We gamers don't all have the same fucking taste.
Hmm.
End point.
I mean, I think I do pretty good about proving that.
True.
I feel sorry for the poor consoles that get flight simulators put onto them. Someday. I don't think that's ever happening, but if it ever does, I am going to feel sorry for the poor little console as it sits there and cooks itself to death because of the poor thermal management that they design into these little crap boxes.
Nobody will buy it on the console. Let's just be for real here. Nobody will buy it on the console.
Although sure they would, and CrapGamer would just say, "Oh, it's media bias. Why Xbox ain't running it good."
Or whatever. So if you guys wanted to know what that is, that would be
Oh yeah, I mean,
Shimi.
go
It's
figure.
the Sucker Punch game. Doesn't interest me because
Yeah, the point was at 2 minutes and 40 seconds where you mentioned
that. That was where?
2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Gamer, a mainstream Xbox fan.
All
I
right.
seriously doubt that this is going to be something you're going to be interested in. For me personally, the Infamous series was okay. It was always kind of
All right.
boring.
Just let me know when you're pressing play.
But, it's
Oh, I
either
got the
one-
play
one
going
kind
now
of niche
at
series
3
or
minutes.
another, single player. I would suggest, from what we know about it, kind of looks hacking slashes. Possibly, I don't know. It's probably not anything that's going to do too well, especially in America. But just in general, I don't think it looked very good. It wasn't something that I personally would be interested in. And when you look at just the way that what they were trying to convey with it, I'm like, just what the hell is this? You know what I mean? But again, no release date. This is like a CGI quote-unquote in-engine trailer. No release year. So I'm just curious, Sony fans, right? Because I know that there's Sony fans watching. How often are you gonna fall for Sony bullshit? I'm just curious. Like how often are you guys gonna fall for it? Some trailer from a game that's possibly years away.
Okay, let's pause right here.
Yep.
Okay, how often are Sony fans going to fall for their bullshit? Unlike Microsoft, Sony has been buttering their biscuits since PS1, in the famous words of JTech TV. Microsoft hasn't been able to keep up with Sony in the game department in forever, for real, for real. Crap believe that Sony uses their fans as nothing but walking dollar signs, which is a dumb statement because if we really want to go there, Nintendo is the only company out of the two that doesn't see their fans as walking money bags. They still seem to really only care about their fans having fun.
They're always trying to innovate. They try to go by their own way of doing things.
hmm Like, look at the damn Switch and the Wii U. I mean, they could have done way better than that, but shit.
Right.
I know they were saying the Wii U was underpowered. It was very poorly advertised. But yeah, it was underpowered, but it was quite a bit more powerful in some ways than even the Xbox 360 and the PS3. Not a whole lot more, but and you were given off TV play, 2 screens. I mean, it was really an interesting thing for a home console.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hate on it for that. That's true.
But it failed, and they holler about it being weak. Well, the Switch isn't exactly an Xbox One X,
No.
Or a PS4 Pro, and it's playing Doom on the go.
And I think that's where the Switch excels at, playing a lot of these games on a go instead of being at home all day. Even though it's an underpowered thing, but you can't really get too much power from something that's on the fucking go. Unless you're dealing with a laptop. And then even then, you can't really expect too much power from a laptop. Okay. Any more? I mean, anything else, or y'all want to continue going?
Well, he continues on kind of with what he was saying, talking about announcement, delay, or announcement, no release date, back and forth, and it's like, I think he kind of forgets that it takes time to actually make a game and come out with one. He's used to Xbox, hey, we got a new game coming out next year. Oh, sorry, game canceled. Hey, we got a new game coming out, by the way. Sorry about that other one. Next year. Oh, sorry, game's canceled.
I don't understand why anybody would like that, because Square Enix used to do the same fucking thing. Like Final Fantasy 15, for instance. Do you know when they first came out to say we want to make Fantasy 15? Like, make a
That
wild.
was Final Fantasy 13 Versus originally, I believe.
Oh, that was the original name for it before they came out with the name.
Yeah, something like that. It wasn't 15. It was like 13 Versus or
Oh,
something like that.
okay, cool. But do you know what year they announced that though?
No, it was quite a while.
It was quite a while. Yes. I think 10 years, maybe 10 years ago, or even lower. I know Final Fantasy 12 was out when they announced it, so that had to been like 2005 or six. For you to come out and make fucking commercials for it, come on E3, this is what we're going to come out with, and then you don't make the final product until 2017. Like, no, that's not good management time right there, not at all. And I believe that's what CrapGamer is used to, waiting forever. No,
Yeah.
no. But the one thing I could give Square Enix, and sorry to ramble on here, but at least they never, canceled the game. Never forgot about the game. It was supposed to come out for the PS2, didn't. Supposed to come out for the PS3, didn't. They kept improving on this motherfucker.
There's an article here, April 17, 2013. Final Fantasy Versus 13 to be revealed soon. And that was in 2013.
Wow, that's wow. That's crazy. Send me that link so I can add that to the video. Thanks, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, Scalebound, that was their big one that they were, like, really hyped to get. And then they come out and said it was canceled. And
I ain't gonna lie.
Well, it's like, we just hyped that up so much, man. I'm sorry, we just wouldn't have been able to meet the demand from the fans for the game.
Many people speculate that. Oh my god, I can't believe I said that right. Many people speculate that Microsoft and who's the people that the developers or the publishers for that game?
Scalebound?
Yeah. Was it Platinum Games that was making that game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was being developed by Platinum Games.
Alright, I believe a lot of people were saying that Platinum Games wanted to do something that Microsoft disagreed with it, so they couldn't come eye to eye, so they canceled. And I believe every publisher have that right. Hey man, if we can't come eye to eye, then shit, I guess my game ain't coming to your motherfucking platform.
I've heard different things. As far as it wasn't running right, they weren't getting it running right. There was problems, and so I don't know how many different kinds of problems they had, but there was supposedly development problems.
Let's be honest here. Some of the games that Platinum Games had came out with wasn't up to par. The last good game they really came out with was the Transformer games. I mean, the Transformer game that people really liked it with the original voice actor. But that Ninja Turtle shit, I heard that sucked balls.
Yeah.
Together and go, yay, Sony, yay, right? I don't get it. You know, they pull this with you guys since the beginning of the generation, and you guys are suckers, man. There's no way.
Should be
not.
more
You
like,
guys are-
yay, Microsoft, thank you. Oh, I know you took
don't know how
that
that
6-course
feels,
dinner away,
but
but
I'm
thanks
sure
for the
that you
soup.
guys are probably
Yay,
self-aware.
Microsoft! Fuck me in the ass like you do every year. Yay! I mean, that's basically all I hear from these fanboys. I mean, and same for the Sony people. It's like, come
Yeah.
on. I agree. PC probably has some fanboyism too in some respects, but at least with the PC, we have hardware that we know can perform. You know, with whatever we're looking for it to do.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
You know, walking dollar signs for Sony, and a lot of the games that they're showing aren't even games that are gonna come out for the PS4. They're probably gonna be PS5s, right? That's the funny part. So, like the Death Stranding, maybe even Last of Us 2, those are probably potentially PS5 games. So, I mean,
I'm not a sucker, but I understand the suckerness. But yet you've got an Xbox, and you took whatever Phil Spencer and them said, and day one Xbox launch on E3, they did always on DRM, or at least they attempted to. You know, it took them a little while to reverse that, but they did finally.
Yeah. They announced that, and the first thing that happened is people were canceling their pre-orders in droves. And everybody was canceling their pre-orders and going to pre-order in PS4.
Oh, shit. Hey, I'm sorry, I kind of lost track. What minute you on?
440.
440. Ah, goddamn it.
540 here.
518. At some point, I really need to get watched together to work. Let me know when you get to 458 so I can push play.
For the PS4, they're probably going to be PS5, right? That's the funny part. So,
And then let me know when you get to 540 so I can hit play again.
Those are probably potentially PS5 games. So, I mean, yeah, I'm not a sucker, but I do understand the sucker.
All right, go ahead. Play.
Of the PlayStation families. I get it, man. You guys were sold on a dream, and they continue to push like this idea of some kind of
but yet the Xbox gives dreams and promises and breaks them every day.
Yes, in ultra high definition, 4K uncompromised.
Mm-hmm. And yet it barely achieves 4K on certain games. I mean, granted, it is technically qualifiable as doing what it's advertised to do, but...
I got some more notes on that for later.
Yeah, not very impressed.
5 co-op stuff.
Yeah, 540, yeah.
Stuff. It's going to be on Xbox One. Be better on Xbox One X.
517.
For some reason, Call of Duty World War II, they already are showing expansions. Like, this doesn't really make sense. So, yeah, Call of Duty expansion coming next year. So, I bet you guys were really excited about that, huh?
He's talking about Far Cry 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like he mentions that Sony, announces that, and he's like, oh, well, that's going to be better on the Xbox One X anyway. And then he continues on that Call of Duty is getting expansions. He's like, that makes no sense. It's like, wait, Call of Duty is not a PS4 exclusive. If Call of Duty is getting expansions, so are you.
Yes.
I mean, you may not necessarily get the exact same one every single time. They may have a platform exclusive or something, maybe. But majority of the time, you're still going to get the expansions.
Mm-hmm.
So he's knocking he's knocking the developer there. He's not even knocking PlayStation. He's just knocking that PlayStation announced it.
Yeah, when I first heard that, I really had no opinion, but I believe one of y'all was gonna say something about that. Shit. Push play.
Yeah.
If that expansion wasn't enough to get you guys excited, some Destiny 2 expansion. Woo! I mean, man, you guys are. I mean, seriously.
Destiny 2 is multi-platform too.
Out there,
I know, right?
Things together, because I mean, damn, you guys got marketing deals with these guys.
We're at 548.
expansion.
marketing deals with
So
these
nice.
games.
You guys
So,
love the
good
expansions.
on
You guys love spending that money on expansions and stuff that really kind of doesn't make any sense. But
All right, Crazy
you
playing
know,
558.
it kind of is what it is. And at the end of the day, you guys, spend money
Yeah,
on
I'm
games.
just a few seconds behind
They did
you
the
guys
Monster
then.
Hunter World trailer. Apparently, you can be the girl.
They did the Monster Hunter World
Horizon
trailer.
Zero
But hey, you know, supposedly
Aloy,
Sony
Oh,
people
they
have
did, I'm not
fins.
Horizon Zero
sure
Dawn. Aloy or
what
whatever
the
her
deal
name
with that,
is.
but
I'm not sure
supposedly that's going to be something. I'm not sure. That's not really something I'm interested in, either the
that's gonna
game
be
or the
something.
actual
That's not really something I'm interested
character.
in, either the game or the
You know,
actual
not really my
character.
my thing there. But
Okay.
I do have to say, they did also
And-
announce
and
that
like
the DLC
mentioning
will be
that.
dropping, Frozen
So
Wilds.
he's talking about one of the biggest games of the year.
Yeah.
You know, it was up for Game of the Year award. He don't like it. I would say that if that was an Xbox exclusive, he would have been talking all year long how that is a Game of the Year contender and that should have beaten out, Zelda Breath of the Wild or, I don't think he would have been sitting there that, oh, this game's not for me. I don't care for it. I don't care for the character.
And you know what? And that's okay. In my opinion, that's okay. But you should still give a game its fair shot. To say, hey man, don't like the game, but I heard it was a really good game and they got all its rewards. I'm proud of it. I hope that company still make more money to be able to make another one so more people get to enjoy their work. Just a straight hate on it, that's just stupid.
Well, for me, it's like because he always just so one-sided on Xbox that he hates on games that is like, okay, I can understand if you don't like it, but how do I know you don't actually like it?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not on another platform and not on yours.
Yep.
It's hard to tell.
He's basically the Microsoft equivalent of JTech TV. I mean, that's really all he is a Microsoft a version of JTech TV. You get tired of JTech TV? Hey, just flip over to CrapGamer. There you go. You got Microsoft Edition JTech TV.
Let me know the part when he comes and talk about that these games is the same, regardless of which one you pick, it's the same game over and over again. Because I have something I want to say about that.
Okay. And beforehand, like just saying about how people's tastes are just not always the same as like to the majority necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
The Last of Us, when it came out, they were talking about it had won the most game awards from any game
It deserved it.
in one single game.
Mm-hmm.
I've played it. Now, I didn't play it on the PS3. I played it on the PS4. And I'm playing through it, and I'm like, okay, this game's okay. I don't get all the hype. But it's not that I hated the game, but I didn't see the game at the same level everybody else did.
Naughty Dog tells a really good story. Like how you feel about The Last of Us is what I felt about Uncharted for real. Like
Yeah, and I like my Uncharted.
and I like Naughty Dog. I like The Last of Us. We should become like brothers.
Hey, that's not going to be too good, man. Everybody's abandoning the PS4 that day, guys. Sony, I'm sorry to say, like.
Oh yeah, Xbox One X coming out. Everybody's going to,
You want to know why?
just drop the
Because that's the
PS4
day-
because the One X is coming out. They'll spend another $500.
Mhm.
Everything changes.
Yeah, no
Xbox
thanks.
One X release
I'll just spend $500 and upgrade my graphics card, and yeah, I'll have a better
So
system
I wouldn't
than
imagine that
a.
you're gonna see,
Wait,
very
that's
many
because it's a
people
PC.
on the,
Ooh.
PlayStation 4 or
Oh
the
my
Horizon
God!
Zero
I can't
Dawn.
believe you'll spend $500 on one part in your system. I spend $500 and get a whole system. Ah.
That is not a smart argument at all. It is not.
Just a quick thing on what he said. Okay, so if you own the original Xbox,
Uh huh.
or even say you own the Xbox One S,
Yeah.
either which way, okay, you can't upgrade it to get to the power of the One X. You have to spend the $500 to buy the whole new console.
Yep.
And like Crazy Plane mentioned, I can spend $500 buy me a new video card. I don't have to do anything else to my system. I don't have to back anything up, transfer anything, nothing.
Well,
Just put in a new graphics card and I've got an upgrade.
well, see,
That
I
and
wanted
also
to bring-
backwards compatibility with just about everything else. And sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but backwards compatibility with everything that I bought previously and don't have generations. And oh wait, I can play the newest games at newer graphics levels. Oh, my old games? Holy shit, I can max them out now, or I can play them on epic settings or ultra settings or whatever.
Yeah, but
that one upgrade.
I was just mentioning as far as this console, same generation but console upgrade. Spend another $500, but all I'd have to do is, if my system wasn't performing right, I can spend $500 or so and upgrade mine without having to change anything else out.
well, I wanted to make this point, like make that point about the whole switching graphics cards. The thing is that isn't as easy anymore because of the whole price hike because of bitcoins. Like,
Well, yeah, money
Yeah,
has kind of thrown some of it out of whack now.
Yeah, considering my 1070 I bought last year for $398 plus tax.
Yeah, that shit
Some
is
places,
worth
some places are selling it for about $1,000.
Which fucking 1070 that you got?
For the win.
Yeah,
EVGA.
You're right. That's $4,000.
At that, well, they're selling it for like $1,000. I paid like $400 for it.
Yeah. Because Zotac is the next graphics card brand I wanted to rock with because I heard that shit is really good with 4K. Can't even get that.
Right.
That's the same amount as the PC I have right here, 1,500.
Well, and the good thing is, like, let's say I did, spend $500, and I know all the little console kiddies are going to be screaming, yeah, well, you had to upgrade, and you had to, you couldn't buy a whole console. I can do that for the whole price of that $500, all that shit. Yeah, well, little console kitty, not only do I have backwards compatibility, but that $500 graphics card, GTX 1080, for example, will allow me to play games on either maxed out settings, ultra settings, or high settings for the next 5 to 10 years.
True, and probably even beyond that.
Probably, depending on what I play, and since I don't really play that graphically demanding games, I can pretty much say I'm set for life now.
Sure.
Yeah, and they had a mid-gen upgrade. But let me know when to press play.
I think they could make this game look any worse.
You said 720, right?
That it's basically just like every
730 now.
Detroit became
Okay, so this is where he's talking about it looks like every other game. He's talking about Detroit Become Human. He was saying the trailer looked terrible. Not to me.
Okay, my whole point off the top of my head about that, there's no way in hell. I mean, yes, I agree when we say Uncharted and Last of Us, but that's made by the same fucking company. I mean, by the same developer and publisher. Like, of course, Last of Us and Uncharted look the same. I mean, I'm probably sure they probably in the same universe. Like, they could probably have some type of crossover with a DLC or something, so it's not canon to Uncharted or Last of Us universe, but they could put those two exactly together. But when you sit there and say God of War, Spider-Man, Infamous, Uncharted, Last of Us, and Days Gone, it's the exact same game because it's single player? Where the fuck do you get that from? Spider-Man and Infamous, yeah, those is two superhero games. But you can't compare the two when Spider-Man is a fucking spider and Infamous has different types of powers. And at most you can compare Spider-Man is to a multi-platform game Batman. Since they got the same fighter style and shit. God of War, I don't know what game to compare that to because there's no other PS4 game that even look close to God of War. And Horizon Zero Dawn, there's no game that resembles that at all. Not art style, not gameplay. There's nothing that resembles that game.
Well, the single player games is a big thing for PlayStation. Xbox has always been known for online multiplayer.
You know, tell you the truth, when I had the first Xbox, I never played online.
I'm sorry, it cut out. And you had your first Xbox. What?
When I had my first Xbox, I've never played online because I did not know. I mean, I didn't have internet, and
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah, and I didn't know you had to pay for it. Not the internet part, the Xbox Live part. I didn't know you had to pay for that. Like, why do I have to pay for it? Like, I already have to pay for internet. Like, my broke ass have to pay for the internet. Why do I have to pay for on live? Like, that's crazy. But from when I was comparing videos, there's a bunch of Xbox multiplayer games that look alike. Um, God damn it, I don't have the videos in front of me, but the audience will be able to see these videos as we talk. There's a bunch of games that look just alike. Gears of War and Quantum Theory, those two looks just alike. Uh, Halo and Destiny looks just. Oh, that's made by the same company. Now I can't compare those two.
He did.
What'd you say?
He did.
What you say? You made CrapGamer?
The Last of Us and Uncharted. They're made by the same developer.
I mean, but you see, CrapGamer's a special person. I'm not special. I'm not going to compare the games that's made by the same developer.
But everybody's special in their own unique way.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not fucking retarded. Is that better? But did CrapGamer mention about PlayStation wants? I mean, PlayStation fans want more power instead of games yet?
I've not got there yet. Where you at?
Okay. No, I was just asking because that would be my third point. Goddamn, where's my? Shit. I think no, I didn't delete it. Here we go. I'm at 7:31. Where you at?
Okay, yeah, you can press play. I'm right around there.
Dream has ever made, which is and not to say that I don't like narrative games with like the quick time events and stuff like that, but at least when you get those from Telltale, they're like
James mentioned games with quick time, and
Dream always wants you to spend $60 on these things, and they're always clunky.
I don't like quick time events either.
No one
does. You know, and this one looks way more, like even more so, and that's really saying something because, you know, they're quite a boring developer.
Detroit Become Human doesn't seem like...
Announce stuff that's this boring? Man,
just like Two Souls.
I don't think I'd ever see the day. Hey, what's up, all you?
And Heavy Rain.
Oh, here we go.
Them salty PS5 fanboys. Hey, remember how you guys all said
this
that
is where he's talking about the power.
Be announced, where they show some kind of logo or something, right? Man, what happened to that?
I'm gonna wait till he's done
talking. I would love to know, PlayStation dude.
Yeah.
You guys are all like, man, dude. Hey, in the chat, Franklin. CrapGamer's mad because he can't get Sucker Punch's new IP. You do know I have a PlayStation 4 Pro,
yeah, all
right?
you guys are like, PS5's gonna come. First of all, no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just saying. So yeah, all you guys were like, PS5's gonna come. First of all, no. Yeah, you said PS5's gonna come, right? But the problem is, hold on, you want to know what the problem is? The problem is,
Isn't that what we've always been saying?
fans right now, what are you guys saying? It's all about the games. But then you're also screaming for a PlayStation 5 announcement. So which one is it? Is it you want the games, or do you want? I think you want the power. I think it's eating you up inside.
Okay.
That you don't
All right,
have the
I'm gonna
power.
stop right here.
That's all right. I got a Super Nintendo. I got superpower.
I love you. I love y'all. Y'all stupid.
Hey, I got a fixed base trainer. I can fly. Fuck you.
Oh my God.
Bitch, I can go around the world if I want.
That is true, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure this guy's single, but ladies, he can fly you, literally, to your house. But anyway, point number 3. Point number 3.
It might cause a little bit of disruption with the neighbors, but, you know.
Point number 3. This dumbass mentions that it's all about the power when it comes down to these consoles. No crap, it's about the games. If you want to talk about power, you on the wrong side, bro. PC is where you want to stand at to speak about power. Single player games with great story everywhere else. I'm sorry, god damn it. Single player games with great story everywhere else but Microsoft. I have no idea what the fuck I think I was drunk when I wrote that sentence. CrapGamer is really sad that you think it's okay for Microsoft pushing controllers and new consoles in your face without no games attached to those consoles or with that controller. I mean, at least if I'm gonna spend $180, give me two fucking games with that. Why the fuck am I paying $160 or $80 for a fucking controller with no games attached to it? Damn! I don't care how amazing that controller is. Okay, you gave me an amazing controller. Can I get some games to play it with? You got the
Hey,
360 games to play with it. What?
all I gotta know is, does that controller make coffee and bring it to you and serve breakfast in bed? Cause damn.
No,
The
but you
bad
can.
thing is, I've heard some of these elite controllers don't last long.
Damn!
Some of them may, but I've heard people having to go through them pretty quick.
Yeah, I've heard the same information that supposedly there's like a design flaw or something in these elite controllers or whatever they want to call them.
But I thought they were supposed to be the.
Now I've heard of people that's used them. They really like them. So I mean, you're getting more for paying more, but I would expect the quality to be higher though, last longer.
But for 180, it's still $180, isn't it? Like, I mean, for the price what I originally seen for, like, I couldn't dish out that money. I mean, I just couldn't. Like 100 for that amount of cash that they was asking for at the time. Like that's
No thanks.
no, that's like 2 or 3 fucking games. No, that's can you just give
Yeah.
me?
Well, assuming that you're paying $60 a game, if we're talking like Steam sales or something like that, that's like 4 or 5 games worth of stuff plus add-ons and DLC and
Yeah,
additional content.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, feed me games, not don't feed me controllers. Feed me games, and then we'll worry about the controllers later.
Now him talking about power and Sony fans hollering for a PlayStation 5. There's no point for Sony to release a PlayStation 5
Not
at
yet.
the moment. The PS4, yeah, the sales are still starting to slow down, but you're talking what 70 something near 80,000 or 80,000, 70 something 80 million units sold
Hmm.
already. So yeah, the sales are dropping a little bit. Yeah, Xbox One X is a more powerful console, so I would say that's got a little bit of something to do with it. But there's no point for Sony to come out with the PlayStation 5 at the moment. If they do, they'll have to come out with one that's going to shame the Xbox One X. And then when they do that, then Microsoft's going to have to try to do something.
Yep.
And they can't do it too early because their fans just spent another $500 to buy yet another system.
Hmm.
And so there's no point.
Yeah.
At least as from what I can tell is a business standpoint.
Yeah. Like if you already made a console that you already came out and published, say we did not expect many people to come out to buy this because this is a premium console. Like then, what the fuck is you doing then? Like you could have been making games. Are we forgetting this is what this is about, motherfuckers?
Apparently they did.
I'm at
No.
916.
Well, I've got some other notes here on the power statements he's
Oh,
got.
okay.
Yeah, because like I said, I went back and looked through some of his videos when the Xbox One X and PS4 being announced.
Hmm.
So, he's hollering here that the Sony fanboys that are hollering that, oh, it's all about the games, it's not about the power. Well, that's kind of what Xbox fans had been saying. But basically, in one of his videos, he is talking about the whole power issue, the power difference between the OG Xbox and the OG PS4. It's not that bad. People just need to get it out of their head. It's just BS. And now he's also stating in a different video that, yeah, the PS4 is, you know, it's a stronger system on paper. Yeah. But the PS4 is stuck where it's at. You know, they're not going to be able to do anything with that. They're not going to be able to upgrade their system.
Yep.
But he goes on
You
to
can't
say
upgrade
that
the Xbox either.
yeah. But in the video, he goes on talking about, oh, Microsoft has been coming out with updates to the Xbox. You know, this was back then, that is overclocking the processor and making the system more powerful just by software updates.
Is that even possible?
I mean, if you tweak the firmware and, you know, adjust the BIOS, yeah, it could potentially be possible. But again, you're going to be shortening the life of that console due to the poor thermal interface management of the design.
And you're pushing the opponent.
I mean, remember, you're taking a box. You've got an enclosed box here with parts. They're running, generating heat. Ambient air inside that device is already going to be warm or hot. Then you've got the CPU and GPU being cooled by the same one-piece design heatsink. And, you know, as the air is blown over that, you know, that's the air is already pretty darn warm, if not scalding hot. It's getting heated up by the heat sink, and then, you know, you're taking that scalding hot air, pushing it into the PSU, and, you know, heating that up even hotter, and hoping it goes out the back end of the device. Now, obviously, I'm just kind of paraphrasing this, you know, because, you know, the blower-style fan inside that Xbox, and probably even the PlayStation itself, is effectively eating heat-soaked air and then forcing it over a scalding hot heatsink to attempt to try to cool itself.
God damn.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, so it's like they really weren't going to do a whole lot with it. So like PlayStation, they were still kind of stuck with what they've got. They designed it. They came out with it. You know, they can always optimize their software a little bit better. He goes on and is talking about Thief and the Order having come out, and that even though the PlayStation is stronger on paper, those actually ran better on the Xbox One.
What?
Yeah, well, he only very quickly mentioned and went away from it. He was talking about Thief was dropping frames on the PlayStation a little bit more than the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
However, the Xbox was 900p. PS4 was 1080.
Yeah, I seen PS4 had way more 1080p titles than Xbox One did.
Yeah, and so I went and looked up the video Digital Foundry did of comparing the two.
Yeah.
And yeah, Sony had, you know, a few drops. So did the Xbox. They were both having drops in the frame rate.
Do you have a link to that in your notes?
Yeah, I can get it to you.
All right, thanks.
But yeah, the PS4 is running at 1080p. The Xbox One at 900p.
That's a damn shame.
Yeah, and so he's trying to compare the two and say that the PS4 is performing worse, but it was running at a higher resolution. He goes on to talk about...
Well, of course it's going to perform slightly worse at a higher resolution due to the limitation of the hardware.
Well, yeah, but he goes on and talks about, well, the Xbox is going to have the power of the cloud. That's going to push the system. It's going to take some of the power.
That argument again.
Well, you got to understand this video's back then.
Well, yeah, fair enough.
Let's see. Now, also, he was talking about, was it Forza Motorsports 5? So when the Xbox was coming out and they were trying to push how their system looked and how strong it was, they came out with a sports game. This has something to do with all the games looking the same. This is all that PlayStation's got.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so they pushed Forza Motorsports 5. 1080p, 60 FPS. even when they're showing this, people talk about how racing games don't require quite as much horsepower.
No.
No, but they do
Yeah.
require a lot of horsepower on the visual aspects because you want it to be as smooth as possible. Because think of it like this: if you're running at 60 frames a second, you know, as I think it was JTech TV put it, getting buttery smooth frames, and then you suddenly drop down to, let's say, 20 frames a second. That could mean the difference. Even for, let's say, it happens for a millisecond to a full second, and then it's back up to normal. That could be the difference between you making it through the corner, hitting the apex just right, or smashing your car straight into a wall and putting yourself out of the race if you have the damage physics turned up to maximum realism.
Yep.
Right, but I mean, there's tricks and stuff they can do and get away with in a racing game that they can't do in other games where the motion's not quite as fast. Now, they also use Forza Motorsport 7 to be their reveal game to talk about how strong the Xbox One X is.
Mm-hmm.
So, two of the games that's not going to quite push the hardware to its maximum to reach, in the old OG Xbox to do the 1080p or the new one to do the 4K. But they're still using the same game.
Yep.
Basically. And he's talking about what I was saying earlier with the Thief and the Order, and he's talking about that when they came out, and those were earlier games that they were already pushing the PlayStation 4. And he talks about media bias now, but he was saying, they didn't mention anything about pushing the hardware on the Xbox for the same games. But now you've got the Xbox One X. They're being uncompromised 4K. Games come out as soon as the system does, and they're not even pushing 4K 60, and you've got games that's already pushing the system. So it's got the same arguments that he used back then for the original PlayStation that we can use on the Xbox One X with 4K. The game's already come out, so now where's the system to go?
Yep.
The game system's already being pushed to its limits.
And that's a damn shame.
Yep. And sorry.
Let's go. Take your time, little buddy.
But yeah, I don't think I got everything written down correctly, but he's talking about in one of the videos that Xbox has a bright future because they've got so much more room to do stuff with the Xbox than what Sony would with the PS4 originally.
Mm-hmm.
And so with his own argument with the PS4 Pro being less powerful than the Xbox One X, does that mean the PS4 Pro has a bright future and Sony can do more with that than Microsoft can with the Xbox One X? His logic doesn't make any sense.
I feel it should work both ways, even though Microsoft been in the game with PC since the 90s or even the 80s. Not sure how long they've been in the game, but they've been working with PC way before they've been working with consoles. So I believe both Microsoft and Sony have room to improve. But when it comes down to money and shareholders, I don't think one of them have that much time before shareholders start backing out of this very slowly.
Shareholders, they'll stay wherever they think them. Yeah, so it depends on how long they think there's money in it.
If your console keeps failing, like them bringing out the Xbox One X and not many people buying that, they should have lost a lot of shareholders from that. I do not have statistics or how much Xbox One made, but I'm just saying, if not many people bought that, shareholders should have dropped ship after that. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's like, and I know I'm trying to make some points on the video that was previous, but it's all kind of related to his statement on power.
Yeah.
But yeah, At one point, he actually says resolution is meaningless. And I'm like, resolution is meaningless, and he is talking about a game running at 900p. He is talking about Thief.
Yeah.
And it's running 900p on the Xbox, but 1080p on the PS4. So the resolution on his system is lower. So resolution is meaningless. But, you know, he actually states in another video that he's a graphic dude.
Yeah.
And resolution dude.
Yeah.
Like, so
But yet the
which one is
graphics
it?
are meaningless. Which one? What are you? Graphics guy or not?
Yeah.
Can I have it both ways?
Once we got to that part of the video, I was going to touch up on that.
But he's exactly what he's calling Sony, the PlayStation fanboys. It's like, oh, y'all just want the power. Y'all want the power. It's like, well, what do you want? Because you were hollering before resolution and power don't matter. Well, now you're hollering that resolution and power does matter.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is it?
I don't think he's a little
Yeah,
confused.
you can't have your cake and eat it too.
I think he only wants what Microsoft tell him what he wants. If you think about it. You ready to go into the next part of the video?
Yeah,
I'm at 9:16. Where you at?
920.
9:20. Hold on. Do not push play yet. Okay. Play.
Yeah, you guys, man. Hey, nobody can push buttons like me, folks, and I am pushing some buttons, and you guys are definitely salty as hell today. I gotta say it, and I love it. I love it. Look at this, 81 dislikes. 81.
Talking about this.
Can't we get any more? Can't we get any more? Come on, guys. We can get more dislikes than that, right? Man, that was a terrible conference. That was probably one of the worst shows I've ever seen. So then they've showed. Obviously, Detroit Become Human, which we saw that already. We've seen that at a couple of E3s as well. So they're basically trying to...
Well, at least with the amount of sodium potassium that he's putting out, I could probably actually get a good large order of McDonald's fries with it and be set.
This is a game that, like I said multiple times, doesn't interest me.
I mean, I wouldn't even need to ask him to put the salt on it.
I'm going to be interested in, again, a remake. Unless you're something worth remaking, and to my knowledge, this isn't a game that's really worth remaking.
So worth remaking,
I would say
that's just
leave it be.
personal preference.
Remakes are stuff really that people use to kind of fill, for filler. Even Microsoft does this, which pisses me off. When you remake stuff, it's filler.
Pause. Microsoft finally did something that he didn't care for? I mean...
It's because they're not remastering his games. his choice. They didn't get his list.
So CrapGamer do have a mind of his own. I'm so glad for you, Boo Boo. I'm so happy for you.
I mean, CrapGamer does have a mind, not do, but yeah, we're not grammar Nazis.
Well, fuck you. I'm sorry. I stopped at 10:37. Where you at, homie?
10:41.
Okay, give me a second. 10:41, you said?
Well, that's where I'm at. Taz is at 40.
Goddamn. Hold on.
It's kind of nonsense.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not a good sign when you're actually just showing this stuff over and over again. Because it's really showing that you don't have any, and basically Sony's
I'm fine with some remasters.
The same stuff that we saw at E3, which was the same stuff we saw at the previous E3, which is some of the same stuff that we saw at PSX and stuff like that. So it's kind of unfortunate that Sony's really kind of fallen off a little bit.
Saying the same stuff, that's why I'm referring.
Not only that, but they're once again back to showing you guys stuff that is possibly years away, and you guys are just like happy about it. So
I think we already touched this
understand,
subject.
like the happiness about it, like just absolutely ecstatic about nothing. You guys got nothing. You don't even get a damn date. Hey, I can get a date.
I love this.
Like a whale or something, but hell, I can get one, and Sony don't even give you.
It's like you guys get nothing. You guys get canceled games.
You even have hardcore Sony fans, Andrew Renee and stuff like that. Guess what?
Hey, at least I would be okay taking his ugly date. Although I don't think I would want him as a date. I mean, damn.
God of War coming out early next year.
I mean, with the amount of salt that he puts out,
What are they gonna wait for? Are they gonna show you another trailer at PSX? Are you guys gonna fall for that shit again?
I do have to admit, I agree with him on this.
You guys aren't that intelligent.
And what?
Seriously.
I paused.
When I look around,
Oh,
I
goddamn!
see,
Hold on.
damn,
I have to agree that they did show, from what I've seen and heard, that they did show God of War awfully a lot, and they show what Spider-Man twice from E3 or and PAX East. Like, how many times you gonna show those two games? Like, show us what else you gonna do, or at least show us what New Ken and PS4 Pro can do. Like, you showing the if you're gonna show God of War at E3, don't show God of War at PAX East. You're gonna show God of War at PAX East, don't show it at Comic Con or whatever other stage event they have. You know what
Well, I think if they're trying to keep it
Right.
kind of fresh in everybody's mind, I wouldn't mind if they showed a little bit, a different trailer or maybe some gameplay, something to show that they're actually advancing in the development.
I agree. I could agree with that. But also, if you're gonna show it, at least, like you said, new trailer or development or a fucking release date. I mean, that shouldn't be too hard to ask for. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now, if they don't really have anything new or they don't have a release date, okay, you use that as a little filler, more like a collage. Like, hey, we've got these
teaser.
games.
Hey, this is what's coming up.
It's like, we've already mentioned all these games, so we're not going to make a big focus on it. So here we go. Yeah, have a little trailer that's kind of showing clips from several different games they've already announced and talked about a couple of times, and then go on to something else that you're trying to bring to everybody's attention more to the forefront.
See, you smart.
Keep those others on the back burner.
See, you smart. I'm at 12:11. Where you at, home?
You guys aren't that intelligent.
I'm at 11:45.
When I look around, I see
Tires?
All right, I paused. I'm up there with you at 12:11.
Okay, let's push play. 1, 2, and 3.
bunch of sad, unintelligent Sony fans here, falling for stuff again. Dude, Andrew Renee.
I guess I'm not a Sony fan.
A higher up at PlayStation, bro. Yeah, just so you know. Just throwing that out there.
And now he effectively is insulting their intelligence level.
Married to a guy who works for PlayStation, one of the head executives. So you got to keep that in mind. She's definitely not an Xbox dude. She just kind of calls it like she sees it, which is pretty damn cool. You know what I mean? I don't mind it, and she's a redhead, which is also pretty damn cool.
See, she goes in.
Let's see.
No,
they
she's a
showed
redhead.
God
That's
of
cool.
War, which was, guess what they showed? They showed God of War last E3. They showed God of War E3 before that, and now they're showing it again. See, Sony is in a weird spot, right? You know what? I know why their E3s continue to get shorter and shorter. I'll explain it to you guys because I know you don't know because you're stupid. Not the Xbox fans, you guys know, but the PlayStation. They're showing you the stuff.
Oh, I'm glad we have CrapGamer to tell us.
For years and years.
Thank you, Mr. Crap. I didn't realize that.
They're gonna have to show you the same
even though I
stuff
already
over
knew
and
all
over again,
that.
right? But what they're doing is, that, did you notice how they're kind of, taking a break for some of the stuff? Show you any more Shenmue stuff because they've already showed you it and they've talked about it. They're not going to show you, some more of this. Oh, they did show you some more God of War, and that's at that fatigue level right now, in my opinion, right? You guys, we've seen it multiple times now. It's something that they're like, hey, look at this, God of War, and I get it, man. It's God of War. He's grumpy and he's protecting his kid or whatever. Cool. I'm looking forward to that, right? Finally something. But again, that's just something that I planned on already getting. Potato. It looks good, even though it's not going to have 4K textures or anything. I have to be honest. Those PS4 Pro games, they're not up to snuff. I expect a little bit better. With the Xbox One X and the 4K textures and stuff, and Sony just can't do that. I feel like, that really puts them at a disadvantage, and those games aren't going to look as good. So that could actually.
And I do like how he calls the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Pro-tato. I mean, it's kind of hilarious because it's like, well, I could say about the same thing about the potato box. I mean,
The Potato Master.
come on now.
Did he say 4K or nothing yet?
Yeah, I think he said something along that.
Shit, I gotta continue to play so I can hear.
Yeah, he just said it.
He just said it.
Yeah, on mine he
These
did.
games, folks. Plus I'm a bit of a resolution guy, man.
Okay.
But yeah, he
4K or
said
nothing.
4K or nothing, and it's like,
You know,
dude,
I want to see some 4K stuff. I heard.
go ahead.
I heard. Oh, hold on.
Okay, so this will be my point right here. Number 4. If graphics is all you care for, console shouldn't never been welcome to your home. But as you pointed out, Taz, this is not what he said last year in 2016.
Well, the other ones I was looking at was more like 2013, 2014.
Oh, I'm sorry. My apology.
Yeah,
Hey,
back when the consoles were new.
Okay, so back then, his whole thing was graphics did not matter. But,
Right, because the 900p ran better.
Okay, so but now all of a
Then
sudden,
back then, most CRT TVs I think were no more than 900p anyways.
so if he's limiting his scale of 4K or nothing, then you have a very short ass game collection. Matt, you have a very short game collection because not every game on Microsoft can even hit 4K. I mean, on Xbox One X can even hit 4K. Okay.
Yeah, on the original, some of the games on the Xbox One X, yeah.
So I'm at 1447.
Those games aren't going to look as good.
I
So
heard.
that could actually,
Makes you a better gamer. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Look at
See,
this.
there he
That's
is
what I
saying he's a
4K.
dude, but
Makes you
yeah,
better
on that
gamer.
old one, he was
And
like,
so
nah.
Sony doesn't have 4K. I mean, the Potato,
Plus, I'm a bit of a resolution
you know,
guy.
it's just
Yeah.
nothing. You know, it's
Okay, go.
Potato.
Okay, so I heard.
Potato.
I heard.
You know, soupy textures, things like that. I'm not the one. I didn't create soupy textures.
Did you guys hear
Oh,
that?
Like, I got a
it
lot
makes
of
you a better
PlayStation
gamer.
fans pissy at me
4K makes you a better gamer.
For 4K resolution makes you better.
today. Don't be pissy at me for calling it like it is.
No, I would say the FPS makes you
Sony.
better, but you know
Sony.
that's
They
just
did
me.
a 42-minute show this time, and they did a 50-minute show at E3. What are they going to do? A 32-minute show at at PSX? Come on, you know that's not a me problem. That's a Sony problem. Go blame them.
So,
Spider-Man
do you all
trailer,
know
so
if he
again,
is
we're getting into that fatigue
ever
area,
said
right?
anything about not having crossplay with PC gamers because the keyboard and mouse or higher resolution, better frame rates or anything? Do you know if he's made a video about something like that?
Hey Taz, I'm at 1541. Where you at?
Okay. Did you hear me?
I'm sorry, I didn't know my mic was on muted.
Oh.
Because I think Spider-Man looks good, and I'm going to get it.
Do you know if he's ever made a video talking about not having crossplay with PC gamers
No,
on first-person shooters
I
or
don't-
anything like that? Because
no, I don't think
they're higher.
No, I don't think he did. Probably at some point we'll have to look to see that he did.
Because I know some people used to complain that it wouldn't be fair to put a console player up against a PC player with, higher resolution and, 60, 120, 200 FPS and mouse and keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if he's made a video saying anything about that.
Well, even in terms of everything's equal and the only differences between mouse and keyboard and controller, the PC players are still unfortunately going to ruffle stomp the poor console players, even if the console players are more skilled at the same game, simply because of the accuracy and capabilities afforded by keyboard and mouse versus the controller.
True.
And don't get me wrong, there is a place for controllers, flight simulators, racing games, stuff like that, where you're only really needing the 4 cardinal directions, up, down, left, right. It'll shine all day long, but because the keyboard effectively is, a series of on-off switches, it's either on or off. You don't have that precision control capability like a controller would offer.
Yeah, when I used to play the the old MS-DOS flight simulators or Windows 95 or whatever, we had really nice joysticks for those.
Ouch, 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 ouch.
Yeah, I had the Cytec X42, 45, I think. I forget what the number was, but it was an X series with a blue base, and it was pretty damn nice. I actually missed that joystick.
Nice. I cannot relate. I only use the controllers.
I think it was the X42, now that I think about it.
I can't even remember what version we had. I just know we had some good ones at the time.
Nice. I'm at 1544. Where you at, Taz?
I'm at 1606.
1541.
Give me a second so I can back up here. The reason I say Taz because his monitor is the only person I can hear, and you're like on a mic. Alright, 1542. Let's go.
I mean, I'm sure I could bring this up on my other box here that's connected to my TV. Oh, wait, console gamers apparently say that's not possible. But yeah, I could do it that way. I don't know how well it would pick it up.
It'd be cool if I could just hear one person at a time anyway, so I could make sure that we like synced. Alright, let's go.
Looks good, and I'm
All
gonna
right.
going it a little bit too much. It's like, here's the thing. I like Sea of Thieves on Microsoft's part, but I don't want to see Sea of Thieves at E3 next year.
That's true.
Just to show that I'm not, biased. I'm fair and impartial here. I don't want to see the same stuff at multiple events all the time.
That's a lot.
Right? And we've
So-
multiple times. We've seen
So was
Spider-Man
Sea of
got
Thieves
it.
any good?
We've seen
Right,
Spider-Man multiple
It
times.
wasn't.
Again,
It didn't pique my
release
interest.
year, but I wouldn't be surprised if that gets pushed back into 2019. The reason being is because they're not saying early, mid, or late.
All right, we can press play.
Right? And we've already done time. We've seen Spider-Man got it done. Spider-Man multiple times. Again.
So the fact of the matter is, at least with God of War, they're saying early 2018. I don't see Spider-Man releasing early next year. There's a possibility that it comes out late, but Sony doesn't like to do late releases. They don't like to do that. For whatever reason, probably because there's a lot of the other games that come out, like Call of
So
Duty.
Sea of
and things like
Thieves
that.
comes
But
out.
this, could be a problem
I wonder
with
if
the
they had a
fact that
beta.
Probably because there's a lot of
release it 2019. If I had to call it now, and look, you guys can mark this down, right? Mark this down. CrapGamer's gonna blow some minds right now.
If I had to call it now, and look,
Yeah.
down,
Here
right?
we go. Spider-Man is gonna get delayed into spring 2019.
Oh God, he's fiction.
Lock it
Here we
in.
go.
Randy
So everybody
Savage
that's typing
style.
up this stuff, you're gonna get a movie game with Detroit next year. You're gonna get Dad of War. You're gonna get a remake of of a game that didn't sell for shit and Shadow of Colossus. You guys are getting next year, so congrats. That's awesome. Oh, Sony did show The Last of Us 2 CGI.
Yeah, I'd
Right?
actually wish
Like
they'd
some
make
CGI
a
on that, and it looked
remaster.
bad.
Those
It
games.
didn't look like something I was interested in. I'm sure that some people, even Xbox fans, are a fan of this type of game.
It's like I enjoyed the games.
Personally,
I just hated
I
how
hated
bad
the
the
first
first
one. I
one
thought it looked
was.
bad, and they all look the same. You know what's so funny is people thought that this was actually Uncharted. Some people thought it was Days Gone.
Oh, damn.
And you know
I
what?
went to
You're
my
both right. You're
point
both
way
right.
too fast.
You're both right. Because The Last of Us is Days Gone. Days Gone is Uncharted. Horizon Zero Dawn is Days Gone. These are all the same.
Can we stop right here?
game. You
Yeah.
guys keep.
Okay, so this was my whole reason why I even wanted to make this video. My biggest reason to make this video was right here. Yeah, Uncharted and The Last of Us may look the same because they are made by the same company. But to sit here and say every fucking Sony game look and play the same, man, he needs to get Microsoft dick out his mouth. As a PC gamer, I'm not going to sit down I'm not going to down any console for its games just because I'm a PC gamer. Sony has always brought the games, brought the story, and made sure we didn't just have one kind of game type on their system. It's like saying Spider-Man and Infamous Second Son look and play the same because they both two action hero games. Like saying Persona 5 and World of Fantasy look and play alike. Where those two play two different. One is a JR. I think both of them JRPGs, aren't they? No, I think just Persona 5 is a JRPG and the other one is an RPG. But yeah, I highly disagree. Agree with that. Somebody should smack the shit out of his dumb ass for saying that. And Days Gone. Oh my god, that game looks fucking beautiful. I want to get a PS4 just to play that. Just to put that out there. Anybody got anything to say about this?
Which game did you
Uh,
mention?
I had mentioned Days Gone.
Days Gone.
Yep.
Yeah. No, just basically what I had said before. Got in the notes that they're hollering that, or he's hollering that PlayStation's games are the same. Xbox is basically being known for a multi-platform system. They don't really have exclusives, and if they do, it's what? Halo, Gears of War.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Halo is
And,
no longer an exclusive because it's obviously on the PC too.
oh, it's console exclusive. You got to
No,
word it that way. You can't upset the peasants.
well, yeah, but again, Halo Combat Evolved is both console and PC.
You know, the
So,
dictionary
like,
would
what does it
disagree
got?
with that though.
What's that?
What?
With the whole console exclusive, if it's not only on one platform, then it's not an exclusive. Just because you put the word console exclusive, that's going against the word exclusive. You can't put one word in front of the other. It has to be exclusive or nothing. Just like I always tell Xbox, if I'm sleeping with your mother and then go with your sister, am I still exclusively to your mother, or or am I cheating on your mother? A lot of people say I'm a weird motherfucker for saying it like that, but it is true. Like, nigga, just because your sister came out your mother doesn't mean I'm no longer cheating on your mother. I'm damn sure is cheating on your mother by fucking your sister, damn it. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you invest money in a console,
Mm-hmm.
you expect to have some investment, not just wasting the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So some of them, they have to defend it.
Look, I want to tell you this. Ever since Dreamcast got off the market and it was only Nintendo, PlayStation, and Microsoft, I could not see where the fuck my money went every time I bought an Xbox. Like, I've always enjoyed Sony or Nintendo because at least then I have more games. When it comes down to Xbox, it's like, where the fuck is my money going? I'm not even enjoying these games. What the fuck? I don't play. I don't like playing with other people. I like the. Where's the story at? I like fucking single player games, and I've never gotten that with any time I bought a Microsoft thing, and I only bought a 360 because my fucking friends had a fucking 360.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm glad that Sony has a lot of single player games. If it wasn't for that, I won.
And I'm not gonna say that Microsoft is wasting their time because I particularly don't care a fuck about it. Like CrapGamer always thrashing other fucking companies, but I mean if you don't like something, you don't like something. But to sit there and say it's fucking garbage, that's just stupid.
Well, what was garbage was Microsoft trying to enforce heavy DRM into their console when they were first coming out with it.
And that's why they almost failed. They had to change that quick, fast, in a hurry. But I believe Sony was going to agree with Microsoft. Hey, you come out first and say you do it, we sure would jump in and say we're going to do the same thing until they seen the backlash. Nope. Hey, don't rip those key cards up. We're not going to commit career suicide like them. We're going to do the opposite of what they doing. Isn't it we stabbing them in the back? Fuck Microsoft. I believe that's exactly how it happened.
Well, my thing is what would have happened if Sony went first at that E3 and Microsoft came up second? Would Microsoft have backtracked just as fast as Sony?
Yes, they would have no choice to. Just like they backtracked when they got the backlash. I don't think.
Right, but I mean, would they have backtracked enough to where they wouldn't even have announced they were doing something that stupid?
Okay, no. See, you would think Don Matrix, once they got the boo, fucking kill yourself. You would think Don Matrix would have had a worried look on his face. Oh shit! I wasn't expecting this at all. You'd think they'd had to put some music on or something to cover up him. Get me out of here, please. but nah, I completely agree with you. I believe they would have followed suit. But see, Sony's not retarded like Microsoft is.
I think that's all the notes I got on that.
Okay, we can push the play. Crazy Plan, you got anything to say about this, buddy? Crazy Plan? Okay, I guess I'm pushing this play button.
There we go. Is it working?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
maybe, maybe I was hitting the wrong button. I don't know. But other than the fact that, maybe, people should have rushed the stage at that point with the Don Matrix guy or whoever it was that was like, yeah, always on DRM.
Bro, you'd never have another E3.
Might have been a better point to make that.
They would have never have another E3 if Don Mattress would have got hurt up there.
Yeah, he probably would have been walking out of there going, holy shit.
Now, one of his early videos after that E3 announcement and everything, he was talking down Sony because it's like Sony comes out and they're just making fun and they're doing all this stuff, saying all this bad stuff against Microsoft and the Xbox. It's like, what do you expect? Microsoft set it up.
Yep. I'm glad that Don Mattress found another job. Some people believe he got fired. You don't fire, like BBC said, you don't fire somebody like that without first knowing who the fuck you're going to replace him. I'm glad that he found another job and got Phil Spencer, and he seems more level-headed than Don Mattress when a news reporter asked him, so many people don't like the fact that this is always online, and a lot of people don't have internet. Well, if you don't have internet, we got another product for you. It's called the 360. The fuck?
I remember that part. Yeah, well, of course, you can still buy an Xbox, but if you don't have an internet, it's going to have to be a 360 because, yeah, fuck you and screw off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and unlike CrapGamer, Phil Spencer will actually be like, you know what? I just play games.
Yep. Oh,
he's played some on the PlayStation, and he's talked about some of the games he's played on Nintendo. And he has actually gone out and spoken against fanboys.
Yes, he did. And that is the point I wanted to bring up. Phil Spencer.
And people wonder why PC gamers are against fanboys of the consoles.
Blocking CrapGamer. I know Phil Spencer actually blocked a few of the Xbox fanboys because they got a little too crazy talking out the mouth when talking to Phil Spencer. You cancel free. Oh shit! I got one of the tweets right here. CrapGamer. And sad to say, I canceled my Quantum Break pre-order as I said I would. You weren't upfront on Quantum Break being on going to PC. Phil Spencer. The fuck? You cancel a pre-order for a game you want to play because someone else gets to play the game on Windows?
Yeah.
Crap gamer on principle, Phil. It wasn't listed and suddenly gets listed a month before it released. I know Halo Gears, Forza are next. I've said it over and over. We are not focused on the best place to play for games, not about creating walls. We are focused on the best place to play for gamers, not creating walls. Crap gamer. Walls, Phil, you're punishing Xbox holders. We pay to play online. They don't. And now get all the same games. It's not right.
Wait until their exclusive PUBG hits PS4.
It's not exclusive, motherfucker.
No. Console exclusive. I know it was PC first, but you gotta understand the peasants. Okay, so wait until he finds out PUBG is not actually going to stay on Xbox only. And I'm not a PUBG player. I'm not an online competitive player, but the Bluehole has already announced that they want it on every console. Or not console, but every system. So you can't say every system and just mean PC and Xbox. And
Right.
this is after they had already got it on Xbox. So
And man,
it's not going to be an always an exclusive.
I mean, to be completely honest, I think the PUBG people should have waited before bringing it to the consoles. Mainly more just in terms of until they got it optimized better for the PC, because it's still kind of not optimized that great.
Right, and that was a horrible day one release.
Yeah, that too.
8 frames per second at times.
Yeah, and even my poor little GTX 1080 was like, holy fuck, what is this shit?
Yeah,
I want to say.
yeah, that's something the developers should have waited on.
Somebody said, I'm sorry for my confusion, but how are Xbox gamers being punished? Crack gamer, we buy Xbox hardware for exclusives. Bless your little heart, baby. These are going to PC now. PC also plays online for free. Well, not for free. You know, we pay for the internet.
Hey, he sees the light, but doesn't want to join it.
We have to pay $60 a year. I mean, Microsoft didn't put his dick in your ass without a gun in your head.
No, all they do is they unlock the door, open the door, walk into your bedroom while you're sleeping, put their dick up your ass, and they just fuck the living shit out of you. And when you wake up, if you happen to do so, they just give you a little bit of chloroform and continue on. Then they, once they're done, they take your wallet, your money, whatever they want, and walk out of your house and lock the door.
Yep. MD, you chose to pay $60 a year. Crap gamer, no chance if you wanted to play exclusives online. Okay, I'm done reading those. I don't feel like going.
See, and here's what I find extremely funny and that I have to laugh at is CrapGamer's fucking even admitting it. We pay for online at $60 a year. Well, if for whatever reason you don't agree with that, gee, maybe the smart idea would be for everybody to go, you know what, Microsoft? Fuck you. We're not going to pay to do the online shit anymore. We're going to go ahead and not buy the next Xbox. I mean, too late. They can't do it now. They've already bought it. But when the Xbox releases the next generation, that's, going to come out after the Xbox One X or whatever they call the dumb fucker, don't buy it.
Yep.
Just tell them fuck off, and say no more of the pay online stuff. Microsoft to change their tune very quickly, so will Sony and Nintendo. Why did Nintendo start their pay online bullshit? It's because they saw Sony and Microsoft getting away for it as long as they have been.
Yep.
Give me a second. Okay, are we ready to go on to the next?
Sure, why
Yeah.
not?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm at 1815. Where y'all at?
All right, let me catch
Days
up.
Gone is Uncharted. Horizon Zero Dawn is Days Gone.
Let me know when
These
you're
are
at
all the same
1815.
goddamn game. You
All right,
guys
go
can't
for
find
it.
this-
Buying the same game.
That's why you guys
That's why you guys are stupid. Stupid.
I'm so glad we have
You
CrapGamer
fall
around.
for Sony
Be
shit
too stupid to realize we
year
stupid.
after year. Trailer, no release date. Trailer, no release year.
It's amazing how Phil made this
Game
nigga
that
look
looks
retarded.
like every other Sony
Yeah.
game.
third person.
Third
Yeah,
person.
so here's what he was,
Zombies or
what I was-
some kind of outbreak or
he
whatever.
was talking about.
Right?
That's it.
Announcement, no release
That's
date.
it.
Announcement,
Yeah.
no
Boom.
release date.
You know, this
They
is why
get
CrapGamer
announcement,
gets so much hate, right?
game
I
canceled.
say it like it is.
Announcement, game
And
canceled.
y'all hate me for it. But guess what? I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to continue to say how it is. Y'all are buying the same shit. And Sony's shoveling it right down your mouth. Open wide, Sony fans, because here comes another load of BS from
And he's
Sony.
referring to
Right
that.
down the
He's
mouth.
exactly doing the same thing with Microsoft.
Boy, that's good stuff, right?
That's true.
So yeah, this was a bad conference. Sony fans, if you're impressed by this, let me be the one to tell you, you're impressed way too damn
And I
easy.
hate to say, but Microsoft
Because
is
there was
shoveling
nothing
shit down your
impressive
throat
about
too,
this shit.
crap.
In fact,
Well, with 900p
when you
early
look at
on,
it, there
he
was
was
only
that, so
one
he's
thing
impressed with too.
that wasn't at other shows. And that was the Ghost of Tsushima, the Sucker Punch game, or however you pronounce that. I'm not really interested, so I'm not really gonna.
He's got no
bother
respect.
to learn how to pronounce it. But that was
He's
the
like, I
only
don't care
thing.
for the game.
And
I'm
to
not going
top it off,
pronounce.
guys. To top it off, let me top this off real quick for you guys. If it wasn't bad enough, okay. Let me top you off. Top you off, right?
Sony.
I heard
All
that Sony pulled all the stops here, right? All the stops. They pulled all the stops, which meant what they did was they pulled off any surprises that they had for PSX and put them on Paris Games Week because they know they had such a weak-ass E3. So now they've had weak-ass E3, weak-ass Paris Games Week, and it's going to mean a weak-ass PSX. But you guys
And
are
they've got a
clap
weak Xbox
on-
One
Come on, clap for
lineup.
'em, guys.
Yep.
Sony, woo!
All they've got is, hey,
Sony.
we're a multi-platform
Woo!
console.
We love Sony.
Hey, hold on. I have to disagree with you.
We love the
You,
PS4.
you said the magical word weak ass lineup. What lineup? I mean, one game is not a lineup. I'm sorry, bro.
Game. We love fake 4K. We love a network that can never stay online.
We love a network.
Doing. We love game. We love seeing trailers for games 5 years away on PlayStation
must
5
not
and
be back for-
PlayStation 6. Right? Woo, man, you guys are brilliant. Man, you know what I gotta do? I gotta find me a bunch of rubes like you Sony fanboys. That way I can make me a bunch of money selling you dreams.
I like to pause
Selling your
right there to make my final point. Someone needs to call CrapGamer dumbass out for this shit he's spewing right now out of his fat, greasy ass mouth. You wish to find a bunch of suckers to get money from like Sony doing, but you need to look at the mirror. You, the twerking god, and Jake Chat will see the biggest suckers on YouTube when y'all three look in the mirror. Or you bought controllers, consoles, and no fucking games. I wish I can make money off of dumbasses like you people. You bought a console that hardly have a gaming lineup. CrapGamer and Twerking God. J-Tech. Just like CrapGamer said throughout this whole fucking video, you have no your games. When the fuck is your games coming out? Yeah, y'all got games, but when the fuck is your games coming out? I would love to know when Spider-Man come out. I would love to know when Death Stranding is coming out. And no one even knows, is it going to be a PS4 exclusive or it's going to be a multiplayer? Is it coming for PC as well? Like, come on, man. So that's just my final note. I don't want to go back to the whole 27 minute because I also got to edit this fucking video as well. That's just my final point.
I mean, they've got plenty of games. They're the platform king in his opinion.
And I like how he always says that every time you get a PlayStation logo, it's always a pile of crap or a big pile of crap or something like that. You know, well, every time I see a Microsoft logo, I think big pile of crap, especially if it's on a box.
That's true.
I mean, street goes two ways, bub.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Yeah,
Yeah,
just because it's.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, just because it's a multi-platform console, you can't necessarily say that. Yeah, it's got no games. Yeah, it's got plenty, but you've got no exclusives. There's nothing. There's no new original IP idea or something that's coming out for Microsoft.
and see, and
For the
that's where,
Xbox.
and that's where Sony is actually doing big shit because they got new shit coming out for their consoles.
Now, I would like to know if they didn't cancel Scalebound, what kind of game would that have been? How good would that have been? Because I don't play Xbox, but it was being hyped up like by the fans, not just the fanboys.
Did Crimson
And it
Dragon
sounded
ever
like it
come
was
out?
good.
Did Crimson Dragon ever come out?
Uh, don't know.
Not entirely sure.
I don't know, cause that shit like every other arcade space shooter type of shit. You know, where you gotta avoid the fucking missiles and shit that's coming towards you. Except replace the uh, jets and shit with dragons. That shit looked straight garbage. Um,
Crimson Dragon, published by Microsoft.
yeah, you see,
That was on Unreal Engine 3. It shows 2013.
so that came out.
Yeah, that was probably one of the. That would have been close to a release title.
Mm. Well, the reason I bring that up because that's what I thought that game that you was talking about. I thought that was going to be somewhat similar to that.
I was going to say we lost you. I didn't hear you.
I said I thought that game was going to be similar to that at first when I first heard about it. Scalebound. That's why I brought it up.
Okay. Yeah, they according
Fair
to this,
enough.
they said it's a Panzer Dragoon spiritual successor.
Mm.
Um, but if we're not
Oh
going to watch any
God.
more of this, what?
Um, Dragoon was actually really great RPG game. For that to be a spiritual successor, no. I'm sorry. Microsoft need to
Sorry,
go.
lost you again.
I said, I'm sorry. Microsoft really need to go back to the drawing board because that should not be a spiritual successor. No, I'm sorry.
Right. Now, if we're not going to be doing any more on this video, you get a chance to take a look at those other two videos I sent links to.
Okay, shit.
'Cause, that'd be interesting for you to take a look at with putting this together.
Okay, let's play it. Give me a second so I get back.
Because he even mentions that the $100 more price tag the Xbox One had over the PS4 was justified, and that Sony was stupid for taking their camera out to drop the price by $100, and that it wasn't going to work. It was going to mess them up because they'd be the only system without a camera that come with it, and the Kinect was just going to take off, and all this great stuff was going to happen with the Kinect.
But it didn't.
It didn't.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so let's go to that video. Is it the one Xbox One versus the PlayStation 4?
Well, the Xbox One versus PlayStation 4 is his reasons why. So,
Okay.
yeah, because the other one's the power debate. So whichever one you want to go to.
Okay. Goddamn, 14 minutes. Let's skip this intro. Give me a sec.
Of creating software.
Okay, 43 seconds, I believe.
Kind of podcast
compelling software
Okay.
launch, like their history. If you look back at their history, the PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 2, the PSP, the PlayStation Vita, the PlayStation 3 certainly, they all lack software
Now
at
he's
the
talking
launch
about
for some reason. I don't
the
know what their
lineup,
deal
the
is with
launch
that,
lineup.
Yeah.
but it's one of the things that
Neither
really,
one of them really all that great of a launch line.
No. Sony does not do good with launch titles, but maybe a year or so they do come out with their games. I could say that.
Yeah, that was one of the concerns he had was Sony
help
can
make a
take a while to
decision
come
for
out,
me.
but they do.
We'll
But
wait and get a PlayStation 4 when there's an
Yeah, this the
update.
game right here,
When there's
Crimson
God
Dragon I
of
was
War
talking
game, when
about.
there's a Gran
That looked like
Turismo
straight
game, games
garbage.
that I actually want to play. And I
well,
know
looking
people
on the
are
thing,
talking
it
about
actually was supposed to come out
say, oh, but there's
phone. It was supposed to have been a
Killzone's kind of niche
360
title,
release.
in my opinion.
Ugh.
It's not a
Oh,
big
that's that one
franchise.
game that they were
It'll sell a
using
couple
full,
million,
that where they made
definitely
full
not the
motion
property that Sony
controls out of
wanted.
it, and it failed so
Originally,
miserably.
Killzone was
Mhm.
supposed to supplant Halo. It was going to be their Halo killer, and it ended up not being very good, in my opinion. Yeah, the graphics are pretty to look at or whatever, but the story is weak. The characters aren't likable.
Yeah, so yeah,
Drive
and I
Club,
understand.
you know,
Never
the
know.
Moto-Storms are good, but Drive Club has
Preferred the
no
other
appeal
one, or
to
does he
me
just prefer it
whatsoever.
just because it's on
You know,
Xbox?
especially when there's a quality game like Forza Motorsport 5 being put out on Xbox One with the avatars.
But yeah, neither one of them
Dedicated servers,
great of a
60
lineup.
frames per
No,
second, 1080p standard,
and right,
24 player online
well,
races and things like that.
Xbox has a better lineup, but what was it? Rise, Son of Rome was expected to be a great game when it came out, and it kind of flopped. It turned out to not be that as great as they thinking it was going to be.
Because it came out to be a fucking movie.
A lot of the indie games that Sony's pushing are also coming out on Xbox One, or you can get them on PC or tablets or mobiles or consoles that are out right now. So the reason that Sony is pushing these things is because they lack a decent launch lineup. And if you look at their history, it usually takes them a year, sometimes two, before they're getting out quality content. So that's something to be wary of if you're trying to decide on which one to pick. Get the Xbox One now, which has really good looking games. I personally have Forza 5, Rise, Dead Rising 3 pre-ordered, Call of Duty Ghosts, because obviously I want to try out those dedicated servers on the Call of Duty game. And I'm also planning on picking up Killer Instinct, Crimson Dragon.
Yeah, Watch Dogs. I realize that's on play.
Can we pause right here? When he speak
Yeah.
of dedicated service, I remember a long time ago, 2013, that Microsoft purchased all these dedicated services. Did the developer, did any developer use their dedicated services
Oh, for like the
Multi-
cloud processing.
for that in multiplayers games?
Well,
Not that I can
they
think of.
should be using some dedicated servers. What's the point of paying them money?
Because I remember Zaire. I mean, the debate between Zaire. I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect the twerking god. I remember the debate between the twerking god and BBC. That, but why you don't just be? I mean, Microsoft was going to buy all these dedicated services. Don't you think that the developers would be able to use that, so there would be no peer-to-peer multiplayer games? Son, there's still peer-to-peer multiplayer games. So Microsoft didn't give that to the developers. Neither did the developers buy it
Yeah.
from
Now,
them.
if they're running peer to peer and they're not, not all the games are using dedicated servers, what's the point of paying for online?
So Microsoft
Where's the money going?
So
'Cause
Microsoft I'm sorry.
I was going to say, if it's peer to peer, it shouldn't cost you to play the game online because
Yep.
you're not paying for their servers.
Yeah, true. So Microsoft invested all that money and didn't use those dedicated services. I want to let you talk right quick so I can see how many games that was dedicated versus peer to peer.
Okay. Well, you want me to go ahead and press play?
Oh, sure. Let's press play.
Anyway,
On day one as well, so there's quite a bit of variety and different things going on, and I also Watch Dogs and things like that, and I realize that's on PlayStation as well. But for me,
I really kind of thought
another
that
one of the
Sony was
things
being
is, as a
kind of
person that
immature,
has
like,
all the consoles every
this past
generation anyway,
this is
I was a
creating
little bit
lot of-
Okay,
surprised
so
at Sony's tactics this
the
time
one
for
coming
me. It was
out,
like
and
they
as
really
he
went
put it,
on the offensive
attacking
attack.
Microsoft, Sony being real immature. But Microsoft had hurt themselves before Sony ever took the stage. When they announced the DRM, the always online, the always connected connect, so you're telling us you've got a camera and microphone that has to always be connected to a system that always has to be connected to the internet that is constantly dialing home every day.
Hold on.
That don't
let-
seem
I'd like to
invasive.
correct you real fast on that. It's not dialing home. It's dialing the mothership. It's dialing the mothership. Come on now.
And one of the things stated too is back in that don't get mentioned quite as often as the DRM, but there was countries that Microsoft did not support. So if they weren't releasing a system in that area and they weren't supporting that area, if you took your console there and, since it has to call home or the mothership once a day, it would call home. Oops, sorry, you're in an area that is supported by Microsoft. And it would disable your console. You wouldn't even be able to play.
And I posted I sent you the link in the Discord chat. I might have been a little wrong about this. My mistake. Xbox One will have dedicated service available for multiplayer games. Microsoft Next Gen console Xbox One will have dedicated service available for all multiplayer titles. A Microsoft representative confirmed to Polygon today. According to the representative, the servers are part of Xbox Live Compute, the console's cloud. Yesterday on NeoJeff, Microsoft the director of marketing Alberts, I cannot pronounce that last name, confirmed to forum users that all developers will have dedicated servers. But where is the list that shows how many games that had dedicated services?
Well, I don't know, but you'd have to look up to see how many online multiplayer games are. So if that statement holds true, because that's before the console released.
Okay.
Because the cloud computing thing never really happened.
No, not at all. And Crackdown 3 was supposed to show the full power of the cloud, the glorious cloud, but that didn't happen either.
Oh, yeah, CrapGamer. That's another game, the Xbox game that's been delayed.
How many games?
As far as I know, they haven't canceled that one.
No, but that game looked jad awful. All right, we could push play.
All right.
Attacking Microsoft at every chance that they had, and I didn't really appreciate
But
that.
Sony lost a lot
I
of
really
market
kind of
share.
thought that Sony
They
was
went from
being
being
kind of
first in
immature, like
America,
this
Yeah.
past generation.
Now,
PlayStation 3
actually,
made a lot of mistakes,
other than
and
the
it ended up
power and the
being
graphics,
okay.
I really like my
But Sony
PlayStation
lost a
3
lot
a
of
little
market
bit more
share,
than I do my
and they went
4.
from being first in North America, which is the
But yeah,
largest consumer video
it
game,
was
to being dead
expensive.
last by a
Before it
large
really
margin.
took a long time for it to
Um,
hit its stride, but
and
when
so
it did, it
they
caught
made a
up.
lot of mistakes, from the get-go.
But yeah,
A
there
large
was a lot
console to
of
program for.
questionable decisions that
There,
Sony did with
just
the
so
development.
much. You know what I'm saying? They take away the other
Never heard
operating
Microsoft
system, take away
say
backwards
a word about
compatibility.
it.
They
You
were
know what I'm
very
saying? And they could
consumer
have.
unfriendly,
Xbox
in my
Live
opinion,
hasn't
with the
been that.
PS3.
Xbox Live has never
And
gone
even
down
after the
for months.
PlayStation Network was
Okay,
hacked, you never heard
that
Microsoft.
statement. Xbox Live has never been hacked.
That's a lie.
That's a lie. Down for a whole month? Yeah, I don't think so. But it's been hacked.
Oh, it's
So
been in the
that's
news
still a
before
lie.
as well.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So he's saying that Microsoft took the high road. They didn't say anything, about Sony's servers being hacked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't really have much of a leg to stand on because yes, they have too.
Wow.
So yeah, just another one of those Xbox Live.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
Dude,
say a word about it. You know what I'm saying? And they could have. Xbox Live hasn't been hacked. Xbox Live has never gone down for no month due to hackers or anything like that. I've been an Xbox Live subscriber for 7 years now, and I've never not been able to get into it.
Oh yeah, there's never
Whenever
maintenance
Microsoft
every other
is,
week.
I can, and I have.
Oh,
There's never
what's
maintenance
funny
every other week like PS4,
is
but you don't hear Microsoft say anything
when the
about that.
PS3, when the
So Microsoft takes
network
the
was
high road.
down,
In my opinion, Sony takes the low
you
road. They were getting these little
you
games
weren't
in
locked
starting
behind a
at E3,
paywall.
where I thought E3,
You could still go on
Microsoft
things like
showed
Netflix and
games.
stuff.
Nothing but
Yeah.
games. It was amazing. I was blown away.
When
I went out right after
when
Microsoft E3 and
Microsoft's
pre-ordered
server was down
Xbox
for the
One.
Xbox,
Now,
you couldn't
that's
go
what
online
E3 is
with it
about, games. People complain
because
because
it was all locked
Microsoft
behind their servers,
showed
behind their paywall.
other stuff besides games that they're
Wow.
unveiling, right? And then at E3, which is specifically for games, all they did was show games and people still complained. While Sony talked about movies that they're collaborating with, they talked about Microsoft, obviously, you know, they were getting their typical childish little digs in. They talked about apps and entertainment and things like that for a large portion of their E3 show, and nobody batted an eyelash at it. It seems like only Microsoft gets blamed if they do something like this. You know what I mean? Like, I was watching some of the Tokyo Game Show stuff, and Sony focuses heavily on the movies that they're making, you know, Gran Turismo movies and things like that, Ratchet and Clank. They're making these movies. They were talking about their social network and how they want to draw in casual gamers by letting them use their real names and things like that instead of like a gamer tag or whatever. So they obviously are going after casuals and stuff like that too. But if Microsoft were to say, hey, we're going after casual gamers too, we're doing this, people would jump all over them, and I think that's a bit unfair. And I think that as a gamer, I care about games, and Xbox One looks like it's going to play a hell of a lot of games. Microsoft, a little bit of backstory. Microsoft has invested over $1 billion in the first year in
Okay,
games,
so $3 billion on the
and exclusive content alone.
graph.
They spent $3 billion.
So there's
developing
$6
their
billion
graphics chips
in
and
the
things
hole
like that.
for the
God.
They
Xbox
have
One.
300,000 servers.
For the Xbox
They're
One.
going to have dedicated
God
servers
dang.
on every game. You know, the PlayStation 4.
No, this is all just,
peer-to-peer
you know,
stuff.
based on
Call
what
of
he's
Duty is
saying.
peer-to-peer on
Okay, I
PlayStation
don't
4.
see.
If you're
I
gonna
don't
play
see that
next-gen
list.
games,
This
why
cannot
would I
be
play them on
proven.
peer-to-peer connection when you can play them on dedicated servers? To me, this is like the dark horse in this whole thing.
I'm not
I
sure if
play
I'm not
games
asking the
on-
right question, but
I do not
I don't
want to
see
play
it.
peer-to-peer anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sure that PS4 will have some games that will be on dedicated servers, but they're not going to be a unified network like the
Yeah.
Xbox One server.
And cloud
So
computing
all
turns
those
out
people
to
that are
be
like,
marketing
cloud is
speak. It never
marketing speak.
actually
Look at what
really
they're doing.
happens.
I mean, you look at a game like Titanfall, which wouldn't really be possible without all that work, without all that cloud. You look at dedicated servers for Call of Duty Ghosts, that's not possible without that. Sony kind of dropped the ball on that, you know? I
Well,
mean,
you
I
know
keep
what they
hearing people
say,
"Oh, Dead Rising 3, I wish it
facts
was
brought
on
without
PlayStation
evidence
4
can be
Titanfall. I
dismissed
wish it'd
without
be a
evidence.
PlayStation 4 game.
Yeah, and him
Or,
talking about
you know, Forza 5.
um,
Oh, that game looks so good.
PlayStation
Too bad it's on
gamers
Xbox One. I see all these people say, too bad
hollering
it's
for
on
games
Xbox
that are
One.
coming out for the
Why
Xbox.
not get an
It's like,
Xbox One
don't
then?
you
I
understand? That's
realize that
just
some
people that
are
want to
like
play games,
really stuck with
Yep.
one brand or whatever.
and that's
but why would
where
you
the
get a
the
console
the
like the
exclusive stuff
PlayStation 4
comes
that
in
obviously is lacking in the software
and just
lineup?
hurts
Why would
people.
you
I
buy
wouldn't
that
mind
when there's
grabbing an
another
Uncharted
option
PC,
that has
infamous for
more
PC.
games and better looking games and better features? To me, PlayStation 4 doesn't have anything to match, and even though this isn't a game that gets a lot of hype, but Project Spark, and with the use of Kinect on that, it looks amazing. You can use Kinect to make animations and make your own game. So you can make enemy animations or whatever kind of, just by using Kinect. It's like, this is as close that you can come to being
I
a
think we
video
might have
game
lost you, Suffern.
developer. And you can all do
I'm
it with
still
an
here.
Xbox
Yeah, we
One.
lost
It's like,
somebody.
it blows my
Okay,
mind,
there you
some
are.
of the things they're doing with this. You know, and it's like, yeah, people complain, oh, well,
Oh, I just
Xbox
got
One is
the
$100
thing.
more expensive.
I
Well,
just
those
got the
same
video
Sony
playing.
fanboys, they weren't complaining when the PS3
What video?
was $599.
The
you know
video
what I'm saying?
that we talking
It's
about?
been 8 years since we've had a
Oh,
new
you just got it back
Xbox.
up?
Yeah.
$499 isn't bad.
Well, you cannot hear it on my end?
I mean, it's a little bit expensive. If you're a
No, like
gamer,
we were
it's
losing
a
you completely.
hobby.
hearing you
Oh,
say
I mean,
anything.
people spend more than
oh,
that on
sorry.
phones every 6 months.
I had put the
Every time
mic
there's a
on
new
mute so
Apple
I can
phone.
try to still look
So
for
I
this
think
while
that's kind
y'all
of a
was
buck
talking or
argument.
listening to the video. I'm still
The
looking
way
for
the
this
media
information.
and the gaming media is kind of attacking
Not gonna
Microsoft is
play
All
definitely
right.
something that's got on my
Sorry
nerves, and
about
I've
that.
kind of avoided it. I'm getting an
No, you're
Xbox
fine.
One. Bottom line is they have dedicated servers. They have the better launch lineup. They have the better lineup going into 2014. I know that their big title Halo is coming out in
Yeah. So
2014.
at one point,
Quantum Break, Sunset
the
Overdrive,
Sony
Titanfall. They
announced
have
the
huge
PS3 and
games coming
talking
in
about
2014.
all the media stuff that it can do. That it wasn't just a gaming console,
Hmm.
but and he's talking about the Xbox is getting a lot of flack for it. Um, but the thing was, they said it was what, just a few minutes. They talked about the games, and then the entire presentation was on the media part of it. The fact you can plug in an HDMI, and another device that's HDMI and do pass through. You could do all this stuff with it. Da, 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 and then they're like, okay, great that it could do all this, but why aren't you talking about the games?
Yep.
So I didn't see the PS3 announcement, so I don't know if Sony was literally that lopsided. Um, did they really spend a few minutes talking about the games and then almost the entire presentation, talking about all the multimedia stuff that PlayStation 3 could do? I don't know. I've not seen that one,
I don't think that's
but
true.
I don't think it was that lopsided. I think that's what hurt Microsoft is they were just so lopsided that, hey, this is a game console that which, by the way, can do all this other stuff. And they focused on the wrong thing.
Well, again, in my opinion, it comes back down to they were trying to do something the PC already does, and that is replace every device with an all-in-one entertainment, infotainment, whatever you want to call it, system.
Hmm.
Whereas the PC already pretty much handles that easy 1, 2, 3 Z.
Um, I just got 2 links right here so far. Um, For Honor and Destiny 2 did not use dedicated service.
Well, I think everybody knew For Honor didn't because they didn't proclaim it to be.
So, excuse me. So this statement that every game on Xbox One was going to be dedicated service, nope, that is a lie. Shit.
Is that talking about just the PC or is it talking about all versions of Destiny 2?
Motherfucker! Hold on. Now you gotta make my job hard by reading the actual article.
You're evil, Taz. You are evil.
Well, we don't want to give fuel to the peasants.
To
Well,
tell you this
true.
video provided
Actually,
more.
no. We'll keep the fuel. I'll just give them the gasoline and tell them to go play with it in their own, in their own house. Now, if they happen to burn their house down, that's on them because I'm not encouraging such activities. I'm just encouraging they can go, them to go play with the gasoline.
The original Destiny ran on a hybrid of peer-to-peer, I don't know what the fuck that means, client server connection, and Destiny 2 will use the same setup. But Bungie is changing the system for the squad in an effort to improve the experience. In a particular player, I don't see nothing where it says Xbox or PC. Nope, I don't see nothing.
Okay, here's one for IGN. And then we go into it and see what it says. Does it say something about Xbox?
Good lord, I'm tired. the fuck did excuse me. What you like this up?
Xbox One, May 19, 2017, Destiny 2 use dedicated servers. Yeah. Okay. So unlike its predecessor, Destiny 2 will launch on PC as well as consoles, but there is one thing both versions of the game will continue to have in common. No dedicated servers.
That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. So, CrapGamer and Twerking God was highly wrong. Not every game will have dedicated servers.
Yeah, and the cloud processing never came to fruition either.
Yep.
But the thing is, you got to have a good, you probably have to have a good internet connection to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of the problem with the whole DRM. Not everybody's going to have that good of an internet to do it.
Too bad it's on Xbox One. I see all these people say, too bad it's on Xbox One. Why not get an Xbox One?
Sony hasn't really announced anything for 2014. Where's the Uncharted? Yeah, they'll come, but if they're going to come 2 years from now, why would I buy a PlayStation 4 now? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense to me. I just think that I like Connect. I like the whole. I know some people don't, but if you look at it, yeah, the Connect for the Xbox 360 wasn't the best.
He just said it for PC.
I have quite a few games for it, but you have to keep.
Why would you spend money on that? Let me try to go back to it.
Why would I spend money on the PC version?
No. Okay, so he knows that why people are stuck with one brand. But why get a console when it's lacking in the power, the games, when there's better options?
Wow.
More games, better looking games. But he points it out for PlayStation, and understand this is back in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And he just made the argument for PC when he was trying to put down the PS4 over the Xbox One that was actually less powerful at the time.
That's a damn shame.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's actually making an argument for the PC over the consoles, period.
Yeah.
For both of them, that is.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just around the 8-minute mark.
On the 8-minute mark. Okay. So you want to push play now?
Yeah.
Connect for the 360 was never the original intention. It was an add-on, an afterthought, years after the Xbox 360 was already out.
And here he goes into
The new
Connect.
with Xbox One was designed right from the
Oh,
start
yeah.
with it. And even people that hated
Talking about
the original
using the Kinect to
use this
do
new one,
animation and stuff and make your own game on an
take into
Xbox.
consideration. And every console has
That
a camera
never
in it.
happened.
If you're a gaming clan or some kind of something like that, why wouldn't you get an Xbox One? Has a camera, you can do chat with your clan mates, 32-person party chat. You can do all this great stuff with it. Yeah, you can buy the camera.
And yeah, they were.
Camera on the
That's
PS4.
process and
Developers aren't
at
going
the
to
very
take advantage
beginning.
of that. Sony left their camera out to die. They introduced it with the original intention of.
Oh, I like how he says $4.99 is not bad. Just like JTech TV says, oh, just go buy a PS4.
They took it out last minute. Now this was
Yeah.
a mistake because developers
And
aren't
then
going to take
what?
advantage of it. Now it might sound stupid.
4
to some
years
of you guys,
later,
but like
oh,
games like
okay,
Elder
go spend
Scrolls
another
Online, you're
$500
gonna be able use
to play
Kinect
the
for
exact same
hotkeys,
games.
for the callouts and things like that.
Like
Developers
literally,
are gonna
it's
use
still an
There's talk
Xbox
about
One. It's
Call
just
of
more
Duty Ghosts
powerful.
using the Kinect for head tracking.
Looks
and things
better,
like that.
runs
Same
a
thing
little
with
better.
Battlefield
Right.
4.
But you're spending
Developers are gonna
another
use it because every
$500
single
just to
Xbox
play
One
the
is gonna have
exact
one.
same games.
And a year from now, when there's when maybe they do a hardware revision and maybe a price drop,
I
these
swear it'd be
consoles
like
are going to
that.
be the same price, but you're going to get a camera. There's a camera with the Wii U right on the gamepad. There's a camera with the Vita right on the Vita. There's a camera on the 3DS. There's a camera going to be on Xbox One.
And I think
Sony
how
is the only
stupid
company
to
that
spend
isn't
that
doing
much money
that.
on phones every 6 months. Or even
They just
here.
like letting their hardware out to die, you know. It's like the PlayStation.
Shit, maybe not everybody want a
that
fucking
thing's still
camera.
alive
Shit.
because they showed it off at TGS.
Well,
But
that and also I'm still
I don't know
using the
anybody that
same
has
phone
one
that's
anymore. It was
4
kind of a
years
novelty.
old now.
If they wanted that thing to take off
Yeah,
this
still.
I have a phone that
pack it
I've
in,
been
let the
using
console
since
take
it
a
came
loss.
out for
You know what I
4
mean?
years,
So for
and
me,
it's still
it was an
working
easy
fine
choice.
for me.
I will eventually get a PlayStation.
I'm still
4 as
using
well,
a Note
'cause I already
3.
have a Wii U and I always get all the consoles.
S8
Oh, and did I
Plus.
mention I still have my I
For
think it's
me,
a 3110
I don't see a
Nokia.
reason to get that first, or at
Remember
the same time,
them?
because I'll be busy
Yeah.
playing through
the
a lot of really
the old
quality
monochrome
games.
I think it was
Online
LCD
looks to be
screen.
so much better in my opinion. I mean, dedicated
I've
servers.
still got
It's
a
2013. How can Sony not
oh
have
goodness,
dedicated servers? You know what I mean? So
an
to
old
me, and this whole
Motorola.
power thing is a
I
bunch
don't
of
think it
bullshit
works
as well.
anymore,
Like
but
where
I've still got
it's
it laying
50%
around
more
somewhere.
powerful. That happens to come out right when Sony's getting bad press.
Well, the funny thing is, I use the Nokia more than I do the other newer model phone. And most people look at me like I'm insane because I keep the Nokia and I continue to use Nokia and I prefer that over anything that's new.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro.
I mean, hell, the other half of the family wants me to switch off of the Nokia and get something a little bit more modern, or use something more modern. Really,
I did not like the Nokia made from Microsoft. I mean the Windows Nokia phone. That shit sucked.
Well, Microsoft learned that the phone market, they're just not for them.
Out on my nerves, and I've kind of avoided it. I'm getting actually some way the media and the gaming media.
Okay. Yeah, and there's another one. Even way back then, he's blaming the media. The media is attacking the Xbox. The media hates the Xbox. They hate Microsoft or the Xbox or however he wants to look at it. But yeah, blames the media. Even back then, he still blames the media.
He was so fucking wrong. He was so fucking wrong. When someone calls you
Well, at least some things don't change.
Is kind of attacking Microsoft is definitely something that's got on my nerves, and I've kind of avoided it.
Yeah, it got on his
I'm getting an Xbox
nerves.
One. Bottom line is they have dedicated servers. They have the better launch lineup. They have the better
I don't think they have dedicated servers just yet, boy.
And they didn't have any really better lineup than PlayStation. Neither one that good of a. But yeah, not every game is dedicated servers, as we can tell how it turned out.
2014. I know that their big title now in 2015.
Oh, there he is. He talks about PlayStation. Oh, y'all keep calling about Uncharted and Infamous and Last of Us. First thing he mentions, yep, Halo. It's like Halo's coming out.
Quantum Break, Sunset Overdrive, Titanfall. They have huge games.
Quantum
For not
Break.
allowing YouTube upload
Sony hasn't
or
really
HDMI
announced
capture.
anything in 2014. Where's the Uncharted? Yeah, they'll come, but if they're going to come 2 years from now, why would I buy a PlayStation now? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense to me. I just think that I like Kinect. I like the. I know some people, but if you look at it, yeah, the Kinect for the Xbox 3 is the best. I enjoy it. I have one. Quite a few games.
Yeah, there he's talking up the Kinect. Even on the 360.
Afterthought, years after the Xbox already out. The new Kinect with Xbox One, designed right from the start to use with it, and even people that hated the original Kinect that have used this new like it. So I think that's something you have to take into consideration. And every console has a.
Okay, so back then he was saying that everybody that's used that new one liked it.
That's a damn lie.
Even before it came out, people were hollering about not just the DRM, but they were hollering about having to have the connected.
Oh,
And yeah, and that's something they had to patch out. So don't tell me that people liked it when people were hollering to get it stinking removed.
Cause nobody, I mean, for real, the shit they was claiming we could do on there, it was just lazy. You, well, I could just walk in my room, say Xbox on, and my Xbox will cut on. Well, okay, you could do the same thing by using your controller. If I wanted to order pizza, Xbox, call Domino's, or order pizza. You know, that's what your cell phone is used for, right? I mean, this.
Well, Alexa can be used to do that too. So can the PC, so can your phone, so can, well, just about everything nowadays. Hell, even your car nowadays can do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, granted, back in 2013, I don't think that was as prevalent.
No.
Wait, if you want to know something, the Connect was really a good item. It was just for the wrong fucking thing. Like many people use.
That, and it was also ahead of its time, in my opinion.
Yeah, like Microsoft
Are you
probably.
referring to the original 360 or the one for the Xbox One?
I've seen a lot of shit. I mean, I've seen a lot of people used it for a lot of good things for the Xbox 360 Connect. Also seen news article or a video made by my man Main Event TV, where somebody that was blind was able to use the Connect for something very useful, and that was really good. And Microsoft should be promoting it for stuff like that. Even surgery, somebody used it for surgery. I'm like, damn, this Connect was really a good fucking product, just not for gaming.
Well, what's funny though is before Microsoft ever announced a Kinect, even for the 360. Now I don't remember quite how old I was, but we had a conference down in Florida, and I went. What is that? WonderWorks.
Yeah.
You know, where the outside of the building looks like it's been flipped upside down.
Mhm.
And they had a lot of neat stuff in there. But one of the things they had was a game you could play. Now it was free, just like anything else in there. But you know, you had like a setup, so you're watching the screen. The game starts. You're in the game.
Oh,
So like,
shit.
if you squatted down,
Uh-huh.
you squatted down in the game, and you could reach out and touch things. All motion control. You didn't have to hold anything in your hands or nothing. And so when I saw Microsoft announcing the Kinect, that they were working on it, they didn't even have a release date, that they were working on it and what they were working on. I was like, oh, I did that years ago.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And it worked it better than the Connect for gaming?
Well, you know, it was specifically like what, 2 or 3 type of games that were more of a demo. You know, it was just a unique little thing that was you never seen anywhere else.
Gotcha.
So it was just something more that you would have seen there. But it was really neat to try it because I think that was 90s. I wasn't out of high school yet.
Gotcha. Where you at in the video?
So they were just developing on technology that was already out.
Alright.
Camera nowadays. If you're gaming like that, why wouldn't you get an Xbox One as a camera?
Yeah, so basically,
made 32 person.
I went ahead and pressed play, but here he's talking about Sony downing them for not having a camera included with their system. So basically, like, you need a camera on your console or connected to your console for the console to succeed. I guess, just because his system does and the PlayStation doesn't. Is that how he's looking at it?
Yeah, that's what I believe
Now, it
too.
might sound stupid to you guys, but like
That's
games
crazy.
like Elder Scrolls Online, you're going to be able to use Connect for hot call-outs and things like that. Developers are going to use it. Talk about Call of Duty Ghosts using Connect for head tracking and same thing with Battlefield.
Now, in hindsight, we know that developers don't use Connect.
Nah,
And
nah,
a year from
nah.
now, when there's a
Those that did
maybe
try
a
to use
hardware
it, a lot of
addition,
reviewers said
maybe a price
that
drop,
the
maybe
Connect did
console.
not do a lot of what they said. Command controls did not work. I seen Angry Joe use it for Mass Effect 3. It was
Mhm.
terrible how he kept trying to tell his squad members to do this, do that, and they acted like fucking retards.
Yeah, and we've used headsets. I mean, even the PS2 had games that, used a headset and you can do verbal commands on.
On the PS2.
Yes, on the PS2.
Damn. And Microsoft, with its newest hardware, could not do what the PS2 successfully did. That's a
Well, I
damn.
would
Nope.
say I would say with any software for voice commands is going to have some problems. Some people say one word one way. Other people may have accents or something that it's not going to pick up on. So it just depends on how good of the software is developed. So, but for the PS2, I would go back and look at some of the people, if there's any on, to go back and look at some of the play in the game and try to see how well that.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Unless you can get a hold of the game yourself with a headset.
I didn't know you could put a headset to the PS2. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, it was wired.
Hmm. This was that one. Fucking talk.
Oh yeah, I had a um. Let's see what it had 2 USB ports on it. I had a 4-port USB hub connected to it. So yeah, they had a lot of accessories even back then.
You're gonna be the same price, but you're gonna get a camera. There's a camera with the Wii U right on the gamepad. There's a camera with Vita. Right? There's a camera on the 3DS. There's a camera.
There's a
gonna be on
camera,
Xbox One.
camera. Gotta have a
Sony is the
camera.
only company, and for some reason, they just like letting their hard. It's like the PlayStation View. Yeah, that thing's still alive because they showed it off at TGS, but who has one? I don't know anybody that has one. It was kind of a novelty. If they wanted that thing to take off this generation, pack it in with the console, take a loss. You know what I mean? So for me, it was an easy choice. I will eventually get a PlayStation 4 as well because I already have a Wii U and I always get all. But until the PlayStation 4 has something to offer me, I don't see.
Okay, so that's the game. So
At the
calm.
same time, because I'll be busy playing through a lot of really quality Xbox One games, and the online looks to be.
Well, back in 2013, I like how he said that, until the PlayStation has something to offer me, but yet he says, in 2017 that he's got a PlayStation 4, I don't know which version he said, but, I just find it funny how he's like, oh, bash the PS4, bash it, but yet he's got one.
Well, he
But again,
uses it to defend him.
Yeah, he is a bit hypocritical. I know.
That's just crazy.
Not a dedicated server. You know what I mean? So to me,
So he's saying the PS4 have dedicated server. Well, not all the Xbox games turned out to have dedicated servers either.
Somebody's getting bad press not allowing you to upload or HDMI capture. So I think that is one of those things where if you look just spec-wise, they're almost the same. And you have industry leaders like John Carter did.
No, I do agree. I don't think the hardware of the original PlayStation or the original Xbox were hugely different. It ended up, the PS4 had quite a bit more bandwidth for the memory and everything, but, it wasn't like running, a 1080 Ti against like a 1050. You're not going to be able to see a huge difference in horsepower in the game, but it was enough.
30 frames per second for the actual campaign.
But it was enough to give the PS4 a little bit of an edge over the Xbox One.
It's not a fanboy thing. I like gaming, but Sony not solely on PlayStation. They did a good job of trying to scare people, not getting an Xbox One and PlayStation by default. And I'm sure
You know what would be a great thing for Sony and my
Hello?
To get cross play or cross platform play going again.
really quality.
no, to really get these fanboys, have them come out, announce new systems, but Sony announced the Xbox announced Sony, and then like after a week, reverse it back and be like, no, we really this one's ours and that one's theirs. So like the look, the hardware specs, all that would be real, except for the logos would be changed. Then you would see all the fanboys talking about how great their console is, and then when they would come out and say, "Oh no, see, we lied to you. This one's actually ours." And I wonder what the fanboys would say after that. Now, that's never going to happen. But I would think that'd be a fun play against the fanboys.
That would.
Then it would probably set them right.
Bruh, that would. Hey, how many minutes left we got in this video, bro?
I mean, we can go ahead and wrap this up if you want.
Yeah, because I got work tomorrow and I'm getting jazz sleepy. And remember, I gotta fucking edit this shit as well. Alright, so we can finish here?
Yeah,
Alright,
I think so.
Task, crazy playing. It's really good working with y'all again. Shit. Dog, I am motherfucking tired. It was good working with y'all, and hopefully we could set
I enjoyed it.
Yes, sir. You have a good night.
Well,
Real gamers.
In that case, have a good night.
Real gamers, real opinions. See you later.